I'm Suzanne Stevens. Two top city leaders in Corpus Christi are gone within a matter of months. What's happening behind closed doors at City Hall?
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter in Flower Bluff. Some long-awaited road work is coming to a busy Flower Bluff street, and it's creating some buzz among the neighbors I spoke with.
Good morning. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you for starting your day with us. I'm Michaela Chavez. Brian and Michelle do have the day off, so let's turn it over to meteorologist Julia Quady, who's standing by with your forecast to get you up and out the door this morning. Julia, good morning. Happy Friday.
Hey there. Good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the work week. Now, of course, forecast-wise, we're going to continue to see the same thing that we've seen so far this week. Still going to have a lot of mugginess, a lot of humidity, and hot temperatures on the way by this afternoon. But right now, waking up this morning, this is going to be the most comfortable period that we'll kind of have in terms of things feeling not quite as oppressive just yet. Just muggy, though, as you head out the door. But focusing on that traffic flow, see what you can expect on those roadways. Heading on Ocean Drive down to SPID and on Saratoga. All three of those roadways are moving well for you this morning. Under all those shades of green, of course, indicating that things are moving well. Heading on over now towards Flower Bluff, slightly different story. Throughout portions of Waldron Road, you can expect a bit of a mixture of medium and slow speeds heading in some directions here. Flower Bluff Drive, though, looking all clear, though, on that roadway. And as you get a little bit closer towards the NAS Corpus Christi, start to see a little bit of a median speed heading in that direction as well early this morning. And now moving on over lastly towards the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island, again looking at all those shades of green, of course indicating that you got fast, easy, and smooth moving traffic flow going to and from the island this morning. Now in terms of your forecast, like I mentioned, things are going to be at their most comfortable period right now. Still got a lot of moisture out there that's going to add towards our air temperatures and feel like temperatures reaching into the upper 90s, feel like temperatures mostly reaching to those triple digits, but changes will be underway ahead for us this weekend. Got a frontal boundary and tropical moisture reaching its way into the coastal bend, leading towards a cool down in our temperatures and some decent rain chances on the way. Of all the details in your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Julia. We'll get to your neighborhood news in just a bit. But first, President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order today to rename the Pentagon. According to a White House official, the Defense Department will be changed to the Department of War. The announcement comes after Trump said recently his administration planned to change the name. A federal judge is set to listen to oral arguments today in a lawsuit against the Trump administration over transgender care for inmates. In June, the judge temporarily blocked an executive order that would have prohibited the Federal Bureau of Prisons from providing gender-affirming hormone therapy and accommodations to transgender people. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of 3 transgender people who are in prison, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. And Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is appearing in front of the Senate Finance Committee on Thursday. In his opening statement, Kennedy said the Trump administration is focused on making Americans healthier. He faced tough questions from Democrats and Republicans about his firing of the director of the CDC and a series of vaccine-related decisions.
Owners of this Bay Area business, CCLED and Glow Ride Tours, are asking for the community's help. Recently, their building was broken into and several electric bikes were stolen. I'm Alexis Scott, your Bay Area neighborhood news reporter, speaking with one of the shop owners about what happened.
We had to replace the glass, of course. They just smashed it until they're able to open and gain entrance.
Edward Martinez, co-owner of CCLED and Glow Ride Tours, is describing how he says thieves broke into his bike shop on North Shoreline Tuesday. And what they took, he says, was worth thousands.
Took our bikes, which are what we use to survive. That's what we use for our business. It's a big blow to us.
The business, in the community for more than 4 years, is known for its unique glowing bikes and weekly rides, bringing color and energy to downtown and Bay areas of Corpus Christi. But when thieves hit, he says at least 6 newly purchased electric bikes and scooters were taken.
It's devastating, it really is. For a small business, we're just trying to survive like everyone else, and we're doing good for the community as well as the city. It just sucks for something like that to happen to us.
One of the bikes was recovered the next day, and others are still missing. And this isn't the first time. Just a few weeks ago, he says, another bike was stolen from the property. Edward tells me he and his business partner aren't going to let this setback stop them from being successful.
People broke into business, man, I hope you have a better day. I hope you have better ambitions and you do well in life.
Edward Martinez tells me he and his business partner have filed a police report, hoping the police will help them find the stolen e-bikes. They're also asking the community to be on the lookout as well. In the Bay Area, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Alexis Scott, KRIS 6 News.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of our work week with the weekend right around the corner here. We just got to get through one more day here. And in terms of the forecast, we got to get through one more day of the heat and humidity that's still in place. Got some changes coming in by this weekend. We'll have some cooler temperatures finally dropping out of those upper 90s and then falling potentially as low as those upper 80s. And we'll also have some decent rain chances on the way thanks to some deep tropical moisture. I have all those details coming up in my full forecast. Right now, let's go ahead and get you out the door, taking a look at your current conditions across each and every neighborhood here. Corpus Christi waking up to a temperature of 77 degrees. Beeville rather, sitting at a temperature at 77 degrees as well. Rockport sitting at 83. That's where our neighborhood was coming from. Over in Alice sitting at 76 too. Looking at our wind speeds mostly coming in from the south-southeast. That's going to be adding towards why we'll see a little bit more moisture coming into the forecast today. And that's going to give us a little bit more of a view of some extra clouds in our skies and going to somewhat be a bit of a buffer in terms of that drier air not so much being in place. So we won't see our temperatures really quickly escalate and rapidly increase towards that higher levels, reaching those triple digits as they have done for the past few days. But right now, looking at our hour-by-hour forecast, going to see some passing clouds in our skies throughout this morning and heading towards the afternoon. Still ample sunshine, still going to have mostly sunny skies by the afternoon as well. Temperatures reaching into those lower 90s by 11 o'clock in the morning, already approaching those mid-90s by lunchtime and heading towards around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But having a bit of a more focus on our feel-like temperatures, those are still going to be reaching towards the triple digits as well, and eventually kind of capping out nearby 105 or up to 106 degrees for those higher feel-like temperature values by around 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. Overall in our forecast, still again looking at hot and muggy conditions on the way. Air temperatures still reaching into those upper 90s, expecting a high temperature of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Other neighborhoods maybe further out west could still potentially see them dabble into the triple digits for their air temperatures as well as their feel-like temperatures, but our heat risk is still going to prove to be an issue for us across the coastal bend, reaching to that moderate to major or even extreme heat risk and heat danger for areas that are a little bit more south of Cotulla under those shades of purple there. We'll have improvements on the way beginning tomorrow and for your Sunday, have less and less of that heat danger going to those lower ends of the criteria in terms of that moderate or minor risk ahead for us on Sunday. That's going to be on the account of that extra bit of moisture, tropical moisture specifically, giving us our rain chances ahead for this weekend. And another feature that's going to help us out with our rain chances too and a bit of a cool down our temperatures is going to be a cold front that's going to push its way through northern Texas, eventually reaching us here in South Texas. It's going to begin to lose its steam as it approaches us here, but still be strong enough and hold itself together just enough for us to still see some below average temperatures come into the forecast. That's going to lead into the early part of next week. Taking a look at our tropical outlook here, these are remnants of what was Tropical Storm Lorena, and this is that deep tropical moisture that I was mentioning that's going to wrap its way around, reaching us here in the coastal bend, giving us some promising rain chances on the way, and that's going to help us out, again, with our promising rain chances coming in this weekend to the early part of next week, and that cool down that's going to take place with lower temperatures on the way. Beginning as early on Saturday, we'll see our temperatures falling, only reaching a high around to the lower 90s on your Saturday afternoon, and then on Sunday, even cooler temperatures on the way, only making it into those upper 80s on your Sunday afternoon. So again, going to have a bit of a change up in the forecast going forward, trading in all this heat and humidity for more cloud cover and also more of our rain that's going to look pretty beneficial for us over the course of our weekend, even wrapping up towards the early part of next week. Then we'll start to see our rain chances decrease. We'll start to see that frontal boundary push its way out of the coastal bend early next week, and that's going to give us more sunshine and more temperatures back up into those lower 90s.
Welcome back. It is 6:12 on your Friday morning, and we're taking a live look at our SPID Skycam. Again, as I mentioned before, looks very calm right now, but this is the most calm it's probably going to be because I know Music Fest is coming up later tonight, and that's going to be a packed house with weather permitting. But meteorologist Julia Quady is standing by with a look at your Friday forecast. But first, your national headlines. New records reveal troubling maintenance issues at Robb Elementary in Uvalde just weeks before the 2022 massacre. Maintenance logs obtained exclusively by CNN show repeated complaints about entry doors at the school. Staff reported doors that stayed open in their frames, slammed loudly, or failed to lock securely. Other reports described entrance doors that had to be forced shut to stay closed. Among the problems flagged was the very door the gunman used to walk into the school. The Robb Elementary School shooting is one of the deadliest in U.S. history. A total of 21 people were killed, including 19 children and 2 teachers.
Current environment here between council and citizens is, there's a lot of pressure on city staff.
That climate, Assistant City Manager Heather Hurlburt refers to, includes tense negotiations over the American Bank Center and accusations that city staff have misled the public.
Opinion is that the staff feels like they're walking through a minefield.
But Councilmember Eric Cantu claims Hurlburt is stepping down because of a lawsuit tied to a hotel project at North Chaparral and Lomax. A rival hotel owner claims the city and developers used misleading flood maps to secure a $2 million taxpayer incentive. The case has sparked political backlash, even a recall petition targeting Mayor Paulette Guajardo. The mayor has denied any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Hurlburt insists the lawsuit had nothing to do with her decision.
Absolutely not. 100% no.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter in Flower Bluff. Just 6 months ago, we told you about the pothole-riddled Mediterranean Drive. Now the entire road from Laguna Shores to Waldron will be repaved.
Mediterranean, it's been pitiful for a long time.
These Flower Bluff residents won't have to worry about a bumpy ride on Mediterranean Drive for much longer. I noticed crews working in the area earlier this week, so I reached out to the city to find out what exactly was being done. The city tells me through its rapid pavement program, crews are tearing out the asphalt and will repave with new asphalt along the entire length of Mediterranean. That's a distance of about a mile. Engineers tell me this project is expected to be done by next week. In Flower Bluff, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the work week, and now we're going to have some changes coming to the forecast as we approach this upcoming weekend. We'll see our rain chances really look more promising ahead for us, and a bit of a cool down. Our temperatures dropping below average beginning tomorrow on our Saturday. But right now, let's go ahead and wake up and get our morning started in terms of what you can expect in your forecast here. We'll see a little bit more moisture and humidity adding towards why we'll see a little bit more cloud cover in our skies. Nothing to obstruct our view from those sunny conditions that are still going to be in place, but just a few more passing clouds because of that extra bit of moisture and humidity. And that's going to actually be a bit of a positive thing in our forecast. It's going to help us out in a little bit in terms of our afternoon high temperatures, hopefully only reaching towards those upper 90s, not teeter-tottering into those triple digits as they have done over the past 2 days. Right now, looking at our planner, like I mentioned, a little bit more cloud cover in our skies throughout the morning. And as we head towards the afternoon, still going to be looking at mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon, though. Temperatures already reaching into those lower 90s by midday at 11 o'clock in the morning. By lunchtime, well into those mid 90s. And again, we're still expecting temperatures to still reach into those upper 90s, just mostly reaching a high of maybe only 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Flight temperatures, though, will still make their way into the triple digits later on in the afternoon. Around 2 and 3 o'clock, we can expect all across of our neighborhoods here in the coastal bend, seeing those feel like temperatures approaching around 105 or up to 106 degrees throughout most of our neighborhoods here. So, of course, heat risk is still going to prove to be an issue for us in the area, too. Anywhere between that moderate to major or even extreme risk of heat danger will be extended across all of our neighborhoods and counties, especially for areas a little bit more south of Cotulla. You can see those small splotches of purple there, of course, denoting that extreme level, that level 4 out of 4 of heat risk and heat danger in the forecast today. Improvements will be made ahead for us tomorrow and our Saturday, and even better improvements on the way on Sunday as our rain chances start to ramp up throughout the weekend, even to the early part of next week. Really, Sunday and Monday looking to be our most promising rain opportunities ahead for us in our forecast as that tropical moisture as well as that frontal boundary pushes its way here into the coastal bend, helping us out both with our rain chances and cooler temperatures in the area. Looking at our weekend forecast, going to see our cool down already starting on Saturday, only reaching towards those lower 90s and high of 93 degrees on your Saturday afternoon. Even cooler ahead for us on our Sunday, dropping to a temperature in those upper 80s. But again, rainfall is going to be pretty heavy at times, especially for areas that are along the coast. Looking at maybe even heavier rainfall totals for coastal counties and neighborhoods here in the coastal bend. All of this is going to be tied towards our changes in the forecast coming for us this weekend and leading to the early part of next week. week. One of those features, like I mentioned, is going to be this cold front that's going to wrap its way around the Lone Star State, pushing its way to us here in the coastal bend before it starts to lose a little bit of its steam, but still hold on to its strength just enough that we'll see a cool down in our temperatures and again help us out with our rain chances. But the true rainmaker for us is going to be this deep tropical moisture coming in of what was Tropical Storm Lorena. It's going to wrap its way with that deep tropical moisture reaching us here in the coastal bend, helping us out with our rain chances coming up tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and well, maybe into Tuesday next week. Then we'll start to see a drop off in our rain chances and not really looking to be too promising thereafter. Looking at our rainfall estimates though, over the course of our rain event that will begin tomorrow, things are looking pretty decent and promising right now. Even looking at hopefully around an inch of rainfall potentially happening nearby our watershed. Of course, it's not gospel. It's not for sure that things are going to fall this way in terms of our rainfall accumulation, but just right now with our current models and estimates right now, this is what we're looking at in terms of a hopeful promise in terms of what we can expect in our rainfall totals from our rain event that will begin tomorrow. But looking at your 7-day forecast, we got one more day to go just today of all this heat and humidity before we have some nice changes coming in this weekend before we warm up heading towards the midweek next week.
Welcome back. Calallen ISD has brought back their mental health and wellness series, and the topic this week was Suicide Prevention Month. The mental health series involves monthly Zoom meetings regarding topics like suicide. Students, parents, and teachers take part in these meetings. Neighborhood News reporter Tyrese Boone attended the session as the discussion focused on the warning signs of suicide.
When you don't know, how are you going to help? So would you rather have the knowledge and know how to help your child, or not have the knowledge and hope that your child is going to overcome this one day, when people don't overcome trauma?
At their next meeting, the district plans to discuss the problem of vaping in schools, and that meeting is set for October 2nd.
All right, now taking a live look outside from our view from our First Community Bank Skycam atop the USS Lexington. We can see that traffic flow is looking pretty good heading on the new Harbor Bridge right now. Not much of any traffic flow happening. Maybe it's very, very light at the moment going both north and southbound heading on the new Harbor Bridge. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of traffic flow maps you can expect on other roadways throughout the area. Heading out the door, getting your morning started. If you're heading on Ocean Drive, SPID, or on Saratoga, you're going to be in for pretty smooth driving conditions on all three of those roadways. Heading on over now towards Flower Bluff. Looking at a little bit of a different story. Heading on Walden Road in one direction, you're going to be dealing with a mixture of medium slow speeds. All clear for your drive in both directions though. Heading on Flower Bluff Drive and then getting towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Still going to be in for a bit of a medium speed as you get a little bit closer towards the base there. And then taking a look at our view from the JFK Causeway going to and from the island. Also looking at pretty smooth and easy driving conditions to get you started on your Friday morning. That's it for your traffic report. With details on your forecast coming up after the break.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Alrighty, good morning and welcome back and happy Friday. Taking a live look outside now from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam, sponsored by CCAC. We can see there's a little bit more cloud cover in our skies early this morning. And that's going to be most of our view throughout the morning and heading towards the later hours this afternoon. This is all going to be tied towards that extra bit of moisture that's right now increasing for us here in the coastal bend. Now it's going to lead towards more mugginess, more humidity, but it's going to serve a positive spin in terms of that extra bit of few clouds that are going to be passing through our skies. That could be the difference maker in us not making it towards those triple digits as we have here for the past 2 days. Today we are expecting our temperatures to still be hot though, reaching to those upper 90s, but hopefully due to that extra bit of moisture and cloud cover in our skies today, we'll kind of work our way out of not making it to those triple digits for our afternoon high temperatures here in the coastal bend. But let's go ahead and get into what else you can expect today here in your forecast at a glance here. Still going to be muggy and hot either way, whether or not we make it to the triple digits, but we're still hoping and anticipating our temperatures to only reach towards those upper 90s. Again, expecting an afternoon high temperature of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi under those mostly sunny skies. We'll still make it into those triple digits though for our feel like temperatures, reaching nearby 105, maybe up to 106 degrees throughout some neighborhoods here in the coastal bend by 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. Still, dangerous heat's going to linger in the forecast as well. Anywhere between that moderate to major, even extreme risk of heat danger is expected, especially for more inland portions of the coastal bend just south of Cotulla. But waking up this morning, things are feeling at their most comfortable across the coastal bend, mostly sitting into those upper 70s or lower 80s for areas that are along the coast. So that moisture and humidity is still adding towards a bit of a difference in terms of how we feel waking up this morning compared to yesterday and the day before that, as drier air was still dominating our forecast. Like I said, we're switching on over to more of a moisture-based forecast, especially with our winds now consistently coming in from the southeast. That's what's also going to add towards a little bit of our cloud cover coming in our skies throughout the morning and as we head towards the afternoon and early evening hours. Temperatures reaching into those upper 80s by 10 o'clock in the morning, heading towards the afternoon, already approaching around 95 or 96 degrees in the afternoon. But again, like I mentioned, expecting an afternoon high temperature of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Like I mentioned, though, feel like temperatures will start to increase, though, reaching around 105 or 106 over the course of our afternoon here in Corpus Christi, then decreasing towards those upper 90s around 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. So even as the sun goes down, temperatures still holding on strong, at least for our feel like temperatures, due to that moisture and humidity in place. They'll still feel like those 90s heading towards after the sun goes down. Looking at our heat risk, though, things are still going to be hot and humid for us today. Like I mentioned, going to have that major to extreme heat risk throughout most of our neighborhoods and counties here in the coastal bend by this afternoon. But better, more positive changes will be coming in beginning on our Saturday and then lingering on into our Sunday as our rain chances start to enter our forecast and cooler conditions coming in with this frontal boundary that's going to shape its way, making its downward turn in terms of covering, of course, the northern portions of the Lone Star State first, and then making its way here in the coastal bend, giving us higher rain chances and a bit of a cool down coming in our temperatures, maybe as low as the upper 80s as we look ahead towards your Sunday. Now, our true rainmaker is going to be coming in what was Tropical Storm Lorena that made its way now towards northern Mexico. The same tropical moisture is going to kind of wrap around, make its way here in the coastal bend, giving us very promising rain chances on the way in our forecast. That's going to maybe stick around even to the early part of next week. Now, moving on over towards the Atlantic, we still have this other tropical wave that's making its way across the central tropical Atlantic, forecasted to eventually get its act together and kind of get more organized and eventually become a tropical disturbance, and then of course a tropical depression, and maybe even becoming our next named storm. The next named storm, of course, will be Gabriel, or Gabrielle, I should say. So we'll see if that system continues to form and become our next named storm out in the Atlantic. For us here at home, though, no tropical trouble or tropical worries. Just going to see a deep tropical moisture coming from the East Pacific, giving us our rain chances coming in this weekend. And again, like I mentioned, cooler temperatures as low as the upper 80s on our Sunday, and then we'll see our temperatures kind of return back towards the lower 90s, but still sitting more either below average or near average conditions, not above average as we have been this week over us here in the coastal bend. But looking at your 7-day forecast, another hot and humid day today before things improve in terms of our rain chances and our cooler temperatures on the way by this weekend.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hi, KRS TV and all of our South Texas viewers. I'm Mark Kellogg here with our wonderful Mayor Paulette and my 3 children, Candace, Megan, and Michael. And we're here to give a shout out to my mother, their grandmother Irene Kellogg, and also our beautiful grandparents out there in South Texas. Have a great day, Grandma Irene, and all of our South Texas grandparents.
Now, the local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans.
Well, it is time to turn up the vibes and feel the rhythm of the Coastal Bend, because your neighborhood is buzzing with events that hit all the right notes.
That's right. Let's kick things off right here in downtown Corpus Christi, where Friday's Art Walk is getting a musical makeover.
The 3rd annual Music Walk is taking over tonight, putting the beat in the heart of Corpus Christi.
It's not just a music festival, it's a full-on celebration of local culture, sound, and style.
Expect 60 local musicians across 3 outdoor stages and a whole mixtape of genres from hip-hop to country, oldies to EDM.
Businesses will be joining the jam with their own in-house tunes, plus over 250 vendors, dozens of food trucks, and live art demos to make this block party a feast for all your senses.
The party pumps up from 6 to 10 tonight.
Heritage Park Market Days is putting a fresh spin on Saturday with the Kids Biz Bash.
Young entrepreneurs will be the stars of the show, showcasing their business skills, creativity, and their hustle.
The event is all about inspiring the next generation of innovators and giving you a chance to shop small from some big future CEOs.
The market runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, and yes, it's going to be adorable.
calling all trainers a Pokemon champion will be crowned this Saturday at the Pokemon Cup tournament.
Head to Tronics Repair and Games for battles, bragging rights, and maybe, yes, a legend, wait for it, Dairy win.
Registration starts at 10 a.m. Tournament kicks off at 11.
It's $20 to enter, so bring your best deck and your game face.
It's going to be a doggone good time at the Portland Aquatic Center for Poochapalooza H2O.
This Saturday, the pool goes to the dogs, literally, from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
There's a swimsuit competition, doggy concessions, and tail-wagging fun all around.
Registration and current vaccinations are required, though, so make sure your pup is ready to make a splash.
And last but definitely not least, Monster Truck Maniac roars back into the Richard Borchard Regional Fairgrounds in Robstown.
Expect giant trucks, freestyle Motor X, a family fun zone, and enough horsepower to shake the stands. Show starts at 7 p.m. tonight and Saturday. Ticket deals are online.
Now, folks, there are so many events happening in your neighborhood, so if you want to see a full list, visit our website, christv.com.
That's right, and if you happen to have your own event you think belongs on Coastal Bend Weekend, shoot us an email. We'll put it on next week's. But for this week's Coastal Bend Weekend, I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman, Chris 6 News.
Alrighty, good morning, happy Friday. So heading out the door, you're going to be in for a little bit more moisture and humidity at play, adding towards things feeling a little bit more muggy heading out the door to get your morning started. Taking a look at our planner, though, we'll see that moisture and humidity is also going to lead towards a little bit more cloud cover that's going to begin this morning and last towards the rest of our afternoon and early evening hours. Now, we'll still see mostly sunny skies, but that extra bit of cloud cover is actually going to serve a positive purpose in terms of hopefully keeping us out of those triple digits by this afternoon. Only expecting a high temperature of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Also with our wind speeds, they'll be clocking nearby 15, maybe closer to 20 miles an hour as we start to approach the early evening. But overall, still looking at pretty comfortable conditions all throughout the day today if you like that heat and humidity. Now, it's still going to have a bit of a dangerous spin to it. We'll still have that heat risk still being a bit of an issue for us, anywhere between that moderate to major, even extreme heat danger expected across the coastal bend for us this afternoon. But if you're tired of the heat, I got good news for you. There's going to be improvement on the way ahead for us this weekend. We got our rain chances returning with that deep tropical moisture coming back to the coastal bend. Also, that frontal boundary that's going to give us slightly cooler temperatures as low as the upper 80s.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Michaela Chavez. Brian and Michelle do have the day off today, and we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Julia Quady. Good morning, Julia. Happy Friday. How are those roadways looking this morning?
Hey there, good morning, Michaela, and happy Friday to you too. And the roadways are looking pretty good across the coastal bend, thankfully, this morning. Right now, giving you this view from our SPID Skycam where you can see that traffic flows begin to get a little bit more busy as more folks get their Friday morning started, hit those roads to get their Friday morning commute on the go at this point. So things are looking pretty good, even though there's a little bit more of your neighbors you can probably see on those roadways, but still looking at pretty smooth traffic flow throughout most of our roadways here in the area, as you're going to see here. Moving on Ocean Drive, heading on SPID and on Saratoga, all three of those roadways under those shades of green, of course indicating that you're going to be in for some smooth and fast movement right now heading out the door. Moving on over towards Flower Bluff, a little bit of a difference here. Got some more slower speed happening in one direction on Waldron Road, all clear for the most part heading on Flower Bluff Drive. And once you leave and approach the gate at NAS Corpus Christi, you'll be in for a tad bit of congestion there with some median speed. But heading on over towards the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island, still looking at pretty fast and easy moving traffic flow going in both directions to and from the island this morning on the JFK Causeway. That's it for your Traport. With details of your forecast coming up.
Thanks for that, Julia. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. From a shakeup at City Hall to roads in the Flower Bluff neighborhood getting a complete makeover. We have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
The current environment here between council and citizens is, there's a lot of pressure on city staff.
That climate, Assistant City Manager Heather Hurlburt refers to, includes tense negotiations over the American Bank Center and accusations that city staff have misled the public.
Opinion is that the staff feels like they're walking through a minefield.
But Councilmember Eric Cantu claims Hurlburt is stepping down because of a lawsuit tied to a hotel project at North Chaparral and Lomax. Lomax. A rival hotel owner claims the city and developers used misleading flood maps to secure a $2 million taxpayer incentive. The case has sparked political backlash, even a recall petition targeting Mayor Paulette Guajardo. The mayor has denied any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Hurlburt insists the lawsuit had nothing to do with her decision.
Absolutely not. 100% no.
Owners of this Bay Area business, CC LED and Glow Ride Tours, are asking for the community's help. Recently, their building was broken into and several electric bikes were stolen. The owner, Edward Martinez, tells me thieves broke into the bike shop on North Shoreline Tuesday night. They used a brick to break into the front door window. When they got inside, they stole several electric bikes and scooters, all worth more than $10,000. And this isn't the first time. Just weeks ago, another bike was stolen from the property. Martinez said he and his business partner filed a police report with CCPD, but is asking the community to be on the lookout for the bikes. If you find the stolen e-bikes around the community, you're asked to call the shop or Corpus Christi Police.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter in Flower Bluff. Just 6 months ago, we told you about the pothole-riddled Mediterranean Drive. Now the entire road from Laguna Shores to Waldron will be repaved.
Mediterranean, it's been pitiful for a long time.
These Flower Bluff residents won't have to worry about a bumpy ride on Mediterranean Drive for much longer. I noticed crews working in the area earlier this week, so I reached out to the city to find out what exactly was being done. The city tells me through its rapid pavement program, crews are tearing out the asphalt and will repave with new asphalt along the entire length of Mediterranean. That's a distance of about a mile. Engineers tell me this project is expected to be done by next week. In Flower Bluff, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
The Ingleside zoning debate continues. I'm Victoria Valderrama with the questions and concerns from neighbors about a proposed tank farm in their community. This comes after Tuesday's planning and zoning meeting where commissioners voted against the request for a tank farm, but it'll still be discussed by City Council. This has some neighbors feeling nervous about the future of their city. Chris Cady was given this public notice notification map. The lined area is the property that would be used for the tank farm, and this is Chris's home. He wants to know how the public will be protected from any accidents.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Three Rivers. School leaders are leaning on voters for financial help. This district is putting a multi-million-dollar bond in the hands of voters. The $23 million bond includes 3 propositions. Proposition A includes renovations to the Student Activity Center, Ag Department, elementary, and security buildings. Proposition B is for safety improvements to the athletic fields. And Proposition C is for covered fields for physical education, band, and athletics. School leaders say ground shifting and aging infrastructure have caused safety problems. Staff note doors that won't lock tightly and warned an uneven turf in the football field. If the bond passes, the district estimates taxes would rise and says the work would begin in 2026. For more details, go to christv.com.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of our work week and we have the weekend just on the horizon at this point. And with the weekend coming up, we got some changes coming in our forecast too. We're expecting some cooler temperatures finally entering into the forecast, going below average, potentially seeing temperatures as low as the upper 80s. Also, rain chances looking to be pretty promising over our weekend, even maybe continuing to the early part of next week. But right now, let's go ahead and go over. We got another day of heat and humidity still in store for us on our Friday, though. As we wake up and get our morning started, temperatures are going to be feeling a little bit more warmer. We have more moisture at play, so it's going to add towards a little bit more cloud cover, more humidity, and slightly warmer temperatures for us this morning, already reaching into those upper 70s or low 80s across our neighborhoods here in the coastal bend. Looking ahead towards the next few hours, though, by 11 o'clock in the morning, going to see a little bit more cloud cover coming in our skies. Still going to have mostly sunny skies, though, either way, and temperatures reaching into those lower 90s, eventually reaching towards this afternoon, reaching into those mid 90s, and expecting an afternoon high temperature of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Now, thankfully, we're looking at our temperatures mostly staying out of those triple digits by this afternoon because that added bit of moisture that's going to lead towards a little bit more cloud cover in our skies. So hopefully that's going to stay strong in terms of our forecast, not entering those triple digits for our air temperatures. Feel like temperatures, though, all the same, will still reach into those triple digits today, at least reaching nearby 105 or 106 over in Robstown around the 3 and 4 o'clock hours. So feel like temperature-wise, we're still going to feel like those 100s, regardless if our air temperatures stay out of that range today. But looking at our heat risk and heat danger, still going to maintain that heat danger reaching as high as a major or even extreme risk in those small areas that you see those splotches of purple underneath south of Cotulla there. Now, improvement, though, is going to start to enter the forecast for us tomorrow and Saturday. Going to see a decrease in the shrinkage of that major and extreme risk coming into the area, especially for inland portions of Coastal Bend, and more improvement to be had as we look ahead towards your Sunday, as we see our rain chances really start to ramp up and cooler temperatures begin to enter the forecast for us beginning over the weekend as well. So taking in our weekend forecast here, going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms that will be more likely on our Sunday rather than our Saturday. Rain chances will begin, though, on Saturday nonetheless. And again, we'll begin that trend of cooler temperatures entering the forecast and maybe dropping as low as those upper 80s on our Sunday. Now, what's going to lead towards these changes coming in our forecast? First one's going to be this frontal boundary that's going to make its way through northern Texas, eventually reaching us here in the Coastal Bend. It will be a cold front. It won't be hanging on strong and maintaining its strength as a cold front by the time it reaches us here in South Texas, but it will be strong enough that we will still see a small bit of a cool down into those upper 80s nonetheless as it relates towards our temperatures. True rain chances will be looking promising because of what was Tropical Storm Lorena that made its landfall towards the northern portions of Mexico. That same deep tropical moisture from that system is going to reach us here in the Coastal Bend, giving us our promising rain chances that will begin on Saturday, look more promising ahead for us on our Sunday and Monday, and maybe start to wrap up as we head towards the early part of next week.
It's been around since the 80s, and it has the power to bring justice for victims and their families by simply submitting a tip. Corpus Christi Crime Stoppers has helped solve cases going on in the Coastal Bend, including some that have been going on for decades.
It's been 36 years now.
Elisa Robertson was just 13 when she went missing in the summer of 1989 in Aransas Pass. She went to meet a friend, but when the friend got to their meetup spot, Elisa wasn't there.
Sometimes it's so hard to just even fathom that it was just a 6-minute walk from our house.
Her sister Ruby Robertson Hall, other family members, and friends continue to bring awareness to her disappearance and the case that is still open and unresolved.
Anything and everything to bring Elisa's case to the forefront and to give people the opportunity to come forward and to speak about it.
But they continue seeking the community's support, even through tips and leads. That's where Crime Stoppers come in.
We always say, if you see something, say something. Even if you don't think it's going to be anything, it's better off to let the police know.
There are several ways to submit a tip. You can call the Crime Stoppers hotline, go online, or download the P3 app through the Crime Stoppers Facebook page. Once you submit a tip, it'll be sent to the specific division related to the case.
And once it's investigated, if it results in a arrest or a warrant, anything like that, then that tip is possible for a payout reward.
All tips are anonymous.
You don't have to leave your name, number, anything like that. You just give a location of where the crime is occurring and a brief description of what's going on.
CCPD Senior Officer Antonio Contreras tells me they actually pay out several tips a month, especially after posting the top 10 most wanted at the beginning of each month. Corpus Christi Crime Stoppers team up with other law enforcement agencies to make sure the tips get to the right place.
It can help people to kind of jog their memory. 100 times before the person may not be willing to speak, but that one time it's put out there again and their conscience gets to them and they're like, I need to just say what I know. And that's how these cases get solved.
Ruby says the family petitioned to legally declare Elisa deceased last month for their own peace of mind, but that doesn't mean their fight and search come to an end.
When you don't have a body and you don't have the remains, it makes it hard for you to have some sense of closure, some sense of peace. It's always in the background. I think of my sister every day. It's constant. My family, she'll never be forgotten, and we're going to get some answers eventually.
Now, all tips are tipster-led, meaning the person who submits or calls must call back or log in with the code and password to check the status of the tip they submitted.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order today to rename the Pentagon. According to a White House official, the Defense Department will be changed to the Department of War. The announcement comes after Trump said recently his administration planned to change the name. A federal judge is set to listen to oral arguments today in a lawsuit against the Trump administration over transgender care for inmates. In June, the judge temporarily blocked an executive order that would have prohibited the Federal Bureau of Prisons from providing gender-affirming hormone therapy and accommodations to transgender people. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of 3 transgender people who are in prison, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is appearing in front of the Senate Finance Committee on Thursday. In his opening statement, Kennedy said the Trump administration is focused on making Americans healthier. He faced tough questions from Democrats and Republicans about his firing of the director of the CDC and a series of vaccine-related decisions. And the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers will square off tonight. This is the second straight year a professional football game will be played in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The NFL is using these international games as a way to tap into new fan bases overseas. The NFL says Brazil boasts 36 million fans of the game, which is the second largest international fan base after Mexico. The teams will play in the Corinthians Soccer Stadium, which was also used for the FIFA World Cup and the 2014 Summer Olympics. And back here at home, you can visit the USS Lexington this weekend for just $8. Today through Sunday, the museum invites the community to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II with discounted admission. You can buy tickets the day of the visit straight from the ship. And Corpus Christi Animal Care Services is hosting their Tails and Touchdowns event this week. Stop by today and tomorrow to find your perfect sidekick. All adoption fees are waived, and Animal Care Services has extended hours, so you have more time to adopt. The center is open from noon to 5:30 p.m. and is located at 2626 Holly Road. And now to a look at what's trending. This morning, it was quite the scene inside a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant in Tallahassee, Florida in July. Chuck E. Cheese himself was arrested. It all played out in front of customers, kids, and parents. Police officers entered the restaurant and found Chucky, who was about to take a picture with customers. Instead, he was put in handcuffs. Tallahassee police say the employee was wanted on credit card theft and fraud charges. Oh my.
That's a lot.
That is a story I was not expecting. And may I just say, I have never been one to go to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm a Peter Piper girl.
Oh, that's a Coastal Bend thing. I did go to Chuck E. Cheese, I believe, as a kid back home in Maryland. I think it was only maybe once or twice. I don't think I was that impressed, but
neither was I. But you know what? With this, maybe I would have been impressed.
That's a way to put it, say impressed. Maybe
that's the wrong word.
Maybe confused. There could be some other keywords you could put in there too, witnessing that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, forecast-wise, maybe it's best to maybe head indoors, maybe not to a Chuck E. Cheese, but to some other establishment where those type of activities won't be going on. But in terms of your forecast, heading indoors will probably be the best course of action, as things will still be very hot and humid for us here in the Coastal Bend. That humidity is going to start to increase a bit, so it's going to lead to a little bit more of a view like what you see behind me as you take a look at our Snoopy's Pier Sky Cam sponsored by CCAC. A little more added cloud cover is going to begin to enter our skies today because of this extra dose of moisture and humidity that's starting to push its way into our area. Now, this is all going to serve a bit of a positive spin in terms of our forecast today. This extra bit of cloud cover could be the difference maker in us not reaching those triple digits in terms of our afternoon high temperatures today, as we have done over the past few days. So I think we can take a small break ahead for us in terms of our afternoon high temperatures, hopefully not getting quite as high. But looking at our forecast today in all, at a glance here, still expecting heat and humidity to still play a part in our forecast, still reaching though into those upper 90s for our forecast high temperatures. And again, still under mostly sunny skies, even though we will see a little bit more cloud cover throughout the day today. What we will see though, feel like temperatures will still be reaching those triple digits regardless, at least around 105 or 106 degrees there. And heat danger is also still going to continue to be a concern for us, at least today, potentially being our last day for that being a major concern, as our heat risk is still going to range anywhere between that moderate to major or even extreme heat danger in some parts of the Coastal Bend. But let's go ahead and take all that information, apply it for our dog walking forecast for today. Introducing our star here, Nala. Nala's going to expect some pretty favorable conditions heading out the door early this morning, but again, that heat is going to increase as we head towards the afternoon, making it a bit uncomfortable. So you may want to get that dog walk done sooner rather than later. Right now, heading out the door this morning. So looking at our cloud cover, like I mentioned, passing clouds all throughout the morning, and as we head towards a little bit closer into the afternoon, temperatures mostly sitting into those upper 80s around 10 o'clock in the morning, already approaching those low 90s by 11. As you can see by lunchtime, already having those air temperatures reaching into those mid-90s. So you can probably just safe to assume feel like temperatures will be already knocking on the door of those triple digits around that time frame. But looking at our overall forecast here, expecting an afternoon high of 98 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Like I mentioned, still going to be a hot and muggy day for us here in the coastal bend, leading towards that heat risk still being an issue for us today, but improvements that will be on the way as we look ahead towards your Saturday and then towards your Sunday. We'll start to see a decrease of that heat risk, only going to be towards that moderate or minor zone at the very least, and we'll have a couple changes coming. The forecast is going to contribute to that. We got that frontal boundary that's going to push on through, so that's going to help us out with cooler temperatures coming down as low as the upper 80s on your Sunday and Monday. And I think the most exciting thing for most folks in the coastal bend is going to be our promising rain chances beginning on Saturday. That's going to last at least for the early part of next week.
Yeah, and you know what? That rain is coming at the most perfect time. Not today, whenever people are going out.
Oh, that's true, exactly, because we got the music walk today.
Yes, exactly. So thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise this morning, and we will see you back here for KRIS 6 News at noon.